Hey everybody, it's the Sadknight here, and we're back with another episode of the Legend of Vox Machina, the animated series about Critical Role. And today we're doing episodes 1 through 12, all item breakdown. Now the items we're going to be talking about in this video are actually the ones that the characters use during the series, not the Easter egg ones hidden in the backgrounds, with some minor exceptions. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please enjoy. The first item we're going to be talking about is the Bag of Holding. This bag has an interior space considerably larger than its outside dimensions, roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep. The bag can only hold up to 500 pounds, not exceeding the volume of 64 cubic feet. The bag weighs 15 pounds regardless of its content. Retrieving an item in the bag requires an action. The Bag of Holding was used quite often by the group known as Vox Machina and was held by Grog Strongjaw, who had a habit of putting weird things inside the bag. We can see how in this scene he takes the severed hand of the guy in the bar fight and puts it in the bag, and we can even see Scanlan pulling out the Beads of Love in this scene right here. Next we have Percy's iconic gun known as the List, a pepperbox pistol with 6 barrels, with the first and fourth barrels being able to deal additional 1d6 fire and cold damage respectively. When Percy kills somebody with a gun whose name is on the barrel, the name disappears from the barrel and Orthax eats their soul. The 6th barrel of the gun was left blank. This was originally designed this way to make the players possibly think that the barrel was for Percy. However, it was to symbolize that the list of vengeance was never ending, and that once it was finished, it would start anew. This was confirmed by Matt Mercer at the end of the campaign to be true, that if he had finished each of the lists, a brand new one would start. This gun was eventually destroyed at the end of the Briarwood arc when Scanlan threw it in a vat of acid, unintentionally severing the link between Percy and Orthax. Another one of Percy's iconic guns is Bad News. He named it Bad News because he believed bad news traveled faster than any other kind of news. This gun is a sniper musket and deals 2d12 piercing damage. It has a range of 200 to 600 feet. It is a two-handed weapon, and it has a misfire of 3. The final gun we see in this series is called Retort. It was originally a gun Anna Ripley had made, designed based off of Percy's design of the List, and is a 4-barrel pistol. Eventually, Percy takes it from her and fixes it himself as a replacement for the List after Scanlan destroys it. Finally, we see a modified example of Percy's gauntlets known as Diplomacy. Originally, they were gauntlets that he wore, but now it seems like they have actually been built into his hand. This weapon has the ability of an unarmed strike dealing 3d6 lightning damage. Target must make a Constitution saving throw or be stunned. This ability must be recharged, and also has the ability to cast Silence centered on oneself and moves with the wearer. This can be cast once per day. This item right here is the symbol of the Everlight and is used as a divine focus for Pike whenever she casts her spells. We see several examples of Vexalia's blazing bowstring throughout the series. This is a string that can be strung up to any bow, and arrows fired from it deal 1d10 additional fire damage. She can do this twice per day. We see here the effect of Vax'ildan's magic item known as Blinkback Belt. Any throwing weapon that is thrown by the wearer is magically transported back to the belt immediately after the attack. We see several examples of a shimmering glow on his knives once they've attacked an enemy, and then they vanish and reappear either in his hand or presumably in his belt. The next of Vax's mini belts that we see is his serpent belt that he called Simon. You can use a bonus action to transform the belt into a poisonous snake for 1 hour or until it is reduced to 0 hit points. This can be used once per day. We also see that the snake is wearing an eye patch, which can have 2 different references. One to the one-eyed snake reference of a person's manhood. It's a dirty joke. The next possible reference could be to Solid Snake from the Metal Gear series, as he's referred to as Snake and also has an eye patch. Vax also had an item called the Boots of Haste. With a bonus action, you can cast the Haste spell on oneself without requiring concentration. You can do this once per day. With the hasted action, he can perform his 3 attacks in 1 turn, commonly known as the Dagger, Dagger, Dagger. The dagger Vax'ildan uses in the Catacombs is possibly the Flametongue Dagger, which has the ability as a +1 bonus to attacks and damage rolls, and has a 1d4 additional fire damage. Interesting to note, we actually have a couple little bonus items here at the very end for Vax'ildan. Several of the daggers that he mentions when saying his iconic line Dagger, Dagger, Dagger while shopping at Gilmore's shop are actually daggers he originally owned in the series. First up, this one's artwork looks very similar to the Critical Role Wiki's artwork for Dagger of Venom. As an action, you can coat this blade in poison, and anybody who is damaged by this blade must make a Constitution saving throw or take 2d10 additional poison damage and is poisoned on the failed save. This dagger right here looks similar to the artwork on the Critical Role Wiki known as Dagger of Life-Steaing. This blade's ability is that on a natural 20, it deals extra 10 points of necrotic damage and gives the wielder an extra 10 temporary hit points. This dagger right here's artwork looks very similar to the artwork of the Keen Dagger. The properties of this dagger are a +2 on attacks and damage rolls, and you can score critical hits on a roll of 19 or 20. Hey guys, it's the Sadknight again. I just want to thank you all for watching the video. The item on the screen here is known as a Ziggurat Sphere, and it is an item with abilities and properties. However, It is massive spoilers that would go even beyond Season 2, so I'm not going to mention it here. I just wanted to say thank you guys for your awesome comments and your wonderful support and all the help and advice you guys have given me, and I can't wait to see you guys again in the next episode. Thank you all, and have a wonderful day.